Hi Jillian, I hope this message finds you doing well. So I was really nosy and I wanted to know a little bit more about the relationship or the dynamic or the energies between Jamie and this Michelle. So I posed the question to Spirit, what can you tell me about Jamie and Michelle's relationship? So let's talk about what came through. So the first energy that came through is the Sun card in reverse. Now we saw this Sun card yesterday as it pertained to his feeling toward you, how he missed the joy and positivity and the light and the love that you gave him. And you can now see that this card is in its reverse orientation, so it actually has the opposite and an alternative meaning. So in his current relationship, he really has a lack of enthusiasm. He really has no spark or passion, or there is no spark or passion. It's really missing. And we'll learn why as we go along. So to clarify the Sun, or to learn more about why he has this lack of enthusiasm, or why there is no spark or passion, this Page of Swords card came through. Now you can remember the pages are really immature energies. They're not quite ready to leave the castle and embody that knight or king energy. And the sword suit is also about the mind, so he really is immature in his mind or in his psyche. And so what we can learn from this page is that he's bringing emotional baggage from the past into this new relationship. And he's really disappointed with the outcome of what happened with you, but he's also really disappointed with the outcome of this relationship, because we can see from that Sun in reverse card that he really is unfulfilled. I really feel like he is feeling cold about the relationship, that he's not warm, and that he's kind of uncaring. So to further clarify this energy, along with the Sun, I pulled two clarifying cards. And again, we saw this yesterday with him. We have the Four of Cups here, and we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And so to describe a little bit about these two cards and what they mean is that he's really feeling remorseful. He feels a lot of regret. He's really regretting the past mistakes that he made in love with you. And he's really feeling apathetic toward this new relationship. Again, kind of further clarifying why there is no enthusiasm and there is no spark or passion. Again, this card came out yesterday as far as him being regretful and remorseful about what happened between you two. The next card to appear to kind of clarify things is this Eight of Swords here. Again, we saw this energy yesterday. So what I'm really feeling is that he feels trapped, probably by his thoughts and not being able to let you go. And also just being in that really unfulfilling relationship and teetering between whether he wants his independence or he wants love. So this card speaks to the need to escape. It also speaks to facing the truth and that he feels oppressed. Again, we saw this yesterday, and because this card, again, is in its reversed orientation, I feel like he's coming out of this energy, that he's slowly waking up, but he's still teetering, again, between his egoic mind and his heart. So to gain even more insight into kind of the dynamic that is in their relationship, or how he feels toward her, the Queen of Swords came through. There's a real lot of swords energy here, which tells me he's very in his mind, and he's probably doing a lot of work as it pertains to becoming more mentally and emotionally mature. So this Queen of Swords is actually a pretty positive sign that he is becoming more self-aware. He's hiding less from his true self or how he's feeling. And he's really starting to come to terms with the energies that we just talked about. So his remorse and being disappointed and not being fulfilled in his current relationship. Like with this card that we saw right here, the Eight of Swords, this speaks to escapism. So I really feel like maybe he is filling his life with other things like this relationship and, you know, other things to keep his attention, because it's a sense of escapism so that he doesn't have to do this work and he can hide from himself. But again, this Queen is really saying that he's coming to terms and he's becoming more self-aware, and in relation to you mostly, and the remorse he feels and the son that he is missing. So I really feel like he is becoming aware of how much he misses you, and that's probably the reason behind some of his actions, which we learned about yesterday. So again, this Queen kind of indicates that he is gaining an understanding of himself, an understanding of the world around him, and his perceptions. So the next card that came out is this King of Pentacles in reverse. So in its reverse orientation, this king is kind of re-emphasizing the fact that he is a bit apathetic right now. So he really isn't able to have an interest or show an interest or show any enthusiasm. He's just not able to feel any of that. And this is all related to what we saw in the Sun, where there isn't that spark in the relationship. Much of it probably doesn't really have to do with her. I think it's just that that relationship lacks certain aspects that, you know, he needs for fulfillment, and it's just not there. So that's why he has these energies, and he's also transitioning through a lot of things personally. So this king is telling us that although he is beginning to wake up, he still is doing the work, and that immature mental energy that we saw previously with the page, he still has a lot of work to do. So this reverse king is essentially alluding to him feeling discouraged. He is ebbing and flowing through doing the work and being obstinate toward change. I still feel like he's really cold and egocentric sometimes. And I feel as though that he is progressing forward, but again, he's still moving back and forth between his old energy and that which awaits him. So a little side note is when I was shuffling these and asking Spirit for insight, I will often ask the question and shuffle like this, and usually a card will pop out or pop over like it just did. But what's funny is that this is the Queen of Wands again. And this came out for you yesterday. Goosebumps all over me, good grief. This was the card with the kitty on it yesterday, and this just popped out again, and I wasn't asking any specific questions. So your kitty is saying hi again, and I really feel like you are probably the embodiment of this Queen of Wands, which is a really beautiful energy, and we know so much about it. About your energy already, how radiant it is, and and things like that. But again, when I was shuffling the last time, I looked at the bottom of the deck. I always look at the bottom of the deck, and the Three of Swords was there, which kind of tells me that this might be a third-party relationship. So I don't know if the third party is that she's married, or that he's thinking of you in the old relationship, but there is some sort of third-party dynamic here. So I paused the video for a second because I wanted to pull out the Three of Swords card that I saw, and I also wanted to pull out this Queen of Wands here, the one from, this is my favorite tarot deck. I did use a different one that I was called to use for your other reading, which was my Crow Tarot. But this is the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. And I wanted to pull this card out again so that you could see that Queen of Wands that popped out in the other deck and the little black kitty. So I really feel like this is you, this Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is energetic, she's vivacious, she's strong, she's courageous, she's passionate, she's funny, she's independent and outgoing and optimistic, and she's assertive when she needs to be, incredibly sexy. She can be hot-tempered and really good at taking charge of her life. And you can see the sunflower here too, which is also one of the most positive symbols in symbology. So this is you, and don't ever forget that. You are the embodiment of those things. And then here is the Three of Swords. I'm sorry, that was on the bottom of the deck. That speaks to that third party situation. You can see that there's 3 swords in this heart. So maybe the middle sword is Jamie, and, you know, she's one of the swords and you're the other. That could be the third party, or it could be in relation to her. And Jamie's one of the other swords, and her husband or something is the other one. But it definitely speaks to a third party. I'm not sure exactly what. I could pull some cards maybe to figure that out. So I do want to give you one final message from my Survival Gentleman's Hardware deck. I like it again because it has like this little compass rose on it. So one final message for Jillian, Spirit. What final message do you have for Jillian? Ooh, they all spilled out here. So the 8 of Wands came out, and the 8 of Wands is all about moving forward and at a rapid speed, so it has a really fast-paced energy to it. So this is a message from Spirit to keep progressing forward. So again, that 8 of Wands is about rapid movement forward, but let's find out what it's really in relation to. So what is this 8 of Wands in relation to Spirit? Okay, the 3 of Wands. So you're moving forward, and it's on a new journey, because the 3 of Wands is all about new journeys. So that's really good news. All right, if you have any other questions, always reach out. Wishing you a lovely rest of your day. Be well.